Hi, my name is Barry Sterling Mitchell. I produce the Sterling Net Point Power Rankings and the Bias Plus reports. And this is Ben and Barry on football.
Hello out there. This is Ben Dickerson, your co-host. Barry, tell me something, man. There's so much happening this offseason with player acquisitions, trades, a great draft, major name players going from one team to another for whatever reason, teams with salary cap issues having to make moves, blah, blah, blah. It seems to be making the beginning of the season seem even farther away. It's harder waiting for the beginning of the season to start. It's just so much. I want to see all these different players on all these different teams and the difference that they make wherever they go or from the team that they left from. My anticipation for the season is off the charts right now. It's so bad. I'm playing fantasy women's basketball. Yes. ESPN has WNBA fantasy. Yes.
WNBA, you know.
Yeah, I have 6 teams. I'm in first place in all of them.
All right. Who's your top scorer?
Ryan Howard, who's a rookie, I believe. Ryan Howard, Tina
Ryan?
Charles.
You said Ryan?
Yes, Ryan.
Ryan is a girl.
Yes. Rhyne, I think is how she pronounces it.
Okay.
Spells her name. She's awesome.
Ryan, who she play for?
Off the top of my man, I just look at players. I don't even look at teams.
Okay.
I just look at players. I look at players and
stats.
stats.
Fantasy.
Players and stats. I could care less what team she's on. I just try to win. I'm just winning games.
Now the people that are in your fantasy league, are they mainly women?
It's a mix.
It is a mix, eh?
It's a mix of men and women, yes.
Women in fantasy. Is Desiree? Is she?
No, she
doesn't join you?
No. If I challenged her, she'd probably start, but she's not really in the WNBA like I am.
You know, I'm gonna tell you. I grew up mainly focused on pro football, pro sports. You had you and your dad and everything had the college thing as a part of what you were, looking at early on. And, we actually played in a rough touch league and you coached a flag league. But now we have other leagues that are popping up that are pro. So you have your WNBA, you have your XFL coming, you got your fan controlled football now, you have your USFL. So I'm seeing different levels of athleticisms and, playing the same sport. You know what I mean? It's like if you go to a flag tournament, you get to watch the little kids, the bigger kids, the grown-ups, and you actually do the older guys.
Women, co-ed.
Yeah, so you see the difference in the physicality. And this one girl I saw playing flag, she had running sideways down to like a science.
It's important. Spin moves, turn your hips. That's a big part of the game.
You see what I'm saying? But I think what really is bringing it to me is the USFL. Because yeah, but I can see the difference.
Yes.
It occurred to me kind of humorously, like you wouldn't want to be the last place team in the USFL.
No.
Much less, I hear that the fan-controlled football, now you know about fan-controlled football leagues?
Not really. I know T.O.'s playing.
Yes, well, apparently he was playing with Johnny Manziel. About a week or two ago, Johnny actually threw him a touchdown. It was all of maybe 3 yards or something like that, but It made the headlines, T.O. scores from Johnny Manziel. It's on our page. Ben and Barry on football on Facebook. But apparently they were not winning. So they
Okay.
traded T.O. and they won their first game. The team that Manziel still didn't get rid of T.O. and they win.
But they didn't trade T.O. for a quarterback.
I don't know what they traded him for,
They stuck
but
with
whatever
Johnny
it was, Johnny Manziel was still the quarterback, and they won the game. They won their game. So,
I
but
have no clue.
so I'm looking at these guys on the USFL, and I'm trying to see who looks to me like they're NFL ready.
Right.
And that's where I'm having a challenge, because I guess with everybody being around the same level, I guess I'm looking for something that's really like popping out. Like you were saying about the girl Ryan, like she's like apparently scoring heads and shoulders over everybody. I don't know who that is in the NFL and the USFL.
Okay.
I don't know who that is.
I'm going to have to look a little bit closer. But the game is beginning to draw me in. I don't watch them live, but I do catch the replays. I think I watched the Philly Stars against the Birmingham Stallions the other night. The Stallions look pretty good. The difference I see between USFL players and NFL players is probably USFL line play is a little weaker. D-line and O-line play is a little weaker. There's no standout, you know what I mean? Offensive lines, they have tremendous rushers. I don't know if it's the backs or if it's the line, but at first glance, I would blame it on the offensive line. Those guys don't seem to be as skilled. I could be wrong. I'm going to look at some more games and see if I can narrow it down a little bit. But that's what I noticed first, right away.
Yeah. The USFL, I was thinking about them in terms of the draft. Like let's take one person, your man, Thibodeau, right?
Right.
He's coming out of college, but he's NFL level.
Right.
He's not USFL level.
Right.
That's got to be difficult. And then you start adding in the international aspect. Now, I don't know what it was like early on in the NFL 100 years ago. Everybody was an immigrant, so I'm sure the names were all like complicated.
Yes.
But my poor spell checker is going crazy with all of these names. So, and there's a lot of, you have a lot of names, Nigerian and African and stuff like that. So the competition, I mean, I talked to our boy, I didn't talk to him. I talked to Corey's dad, and I'm looking for Corey to see, where he's at or if he's really going to be out there and competing for a position.
Right.
He's got his tenure now. So I don't know if he's ready to go out there against these hungry young guys coming in, and still fight for it, man. We'll have to see, hopefully he has some better options, but man, there's a lot going on at all levels. As a matter of fact, on our page, there you go. I mentioned you might be looking for some talent. So you got some girls, flag football champions right here in the Philadelphia area. Lansdale Catholic 2022 Eagles girls flag football champions.
They're all from the same high school?
It says Lansdale Catholic.
Okay.
So you got some champions right here in the area in case you need to buck up your well, they're not old enough to play for you guys, are they? You got the
18. They're only going to be 18.
But I'm talking about the team you coach. Well, that's right. Well,
You're talking about why would I want girls in my team?
Because I'm talking about when you travel, you have the like the 35 and over guys, right?
Not anymore.
Oh no.
What are you talking about? If I want to start a girls team, is that what you're saying?
No, I'm saying, if they're good enough, they come play with you, the boys.
On the men's team? Bro, don't do that. That's why they have a co-ed division.
co-ed division.
It's a co-ed division. It's a division where you can have as many girls on the team as you want, as long as a girl plays, at least one girl's on the field a certain number of plays during each series.
Are you serious?
Yes.
Wow, I didn't know that. I didn't know that. Men's leagues, his, hers, and theirs, eh?
His, hers, and everybody's, yeah.
And everybody's. I didn't know that. That's very interesting. That's very interesting. All right. Well, before we move on into what we're going to talk about, we have an interesting show today. We're going to talk a little bit about the strength of schedule that came out. And I don't know how you feel about strength of schedules, you know, but we kind of talked about it in reference to what the teams were versus what they are, you know. So we're going to look at it relative to that. Just the home and away list. Okay, we're going to not the actual schedules, but at each team, what they're going to have to do home and away. And then we have a number of other things that are of high interest on our page that we'll take a quick look at. All right.
Got it.
Before we go to that, I know your Sixers are not in it, but are you still into the NBA playoffs?
Yes, I've already picked the Boston Celtics to advance over the Miami Heat. And I was liking Dallas, but they took a bad one last night. They had a nice lead, and then third quarter, fourth quarter, they kind of fell apart.
You know,
it'll be tough for them because they really lean heavily on Luka. And when Golden State starts throwing up a box and one zone defense just to stop this guy, that tells you the amount of respect they have for the rest of the team. Brunson's been doing his thing, but those other guys got to step up. But I feel good about Boston.
I mentioned something in the Golden State game one, where the third quarter, all I said was, you know, Golden State had a great third quarter and Mavericks didn't, you know. And I started getting hit by like, well, they always have a good third quarter. Our boy Ronnie, you know, they always have a good thing.
Actually, he's kind of right with that. If there's one team that comes back after halftime and really turns it on right away, it is Golden State.
And that's what they did last night.
Yeah. They had the propensity to do that.
The question is was that historic? Because, I mean, that was a really big lead deficit they were facing.
I don't know if it was historic, but it was monumental. I mean, they really came out on fire.
If there's a team that can dig their way out of that, Golden State is the team because of the way they shoot the 3-pointers. Right. I mean, every shot is now, you know, potentially a 4-point shot.
Right. The thing is, the other team should know that. If we know that, you know, they know that. That's analytics. You know, so that means when you come out of halftime, you have to be prepared to defend the 3-point shot. And I understand that Poole and Curry, if you come up high to defend the 3-point shot, that they can drive past you. I get it. But I'd rather have that and maybe somebody come over and help out than just give them open threes. You cannot let them get uncontested 3-point shots. Can't do it.
When it's in transition, it's really hard because they're spread across the whole floor as everybody.
Yes, and they will pull up. They will pull up and bang.
And shoot that mug. Yeah. And then also and not to be cynical, but, you know, as you were saying that, it's just like, yeah, it's easier said than done because Curry he doesn't give up his dribble fast. That's one of the great things about Curry. He will hold on to his dribble, which means as soon as you step wrong, he'll take advantage of it and he'll fire that ball from 3 points.
He can get it up quick.
Yeah. I mean, he's absolutely amazing. So, this is an interesting combination of shooting capabilities, but, you know, then who can play better defense is always going to be the next question, you know. And then you go down. So you say the Celtics, man, talk about shooting threes. Can you imagine if the Celtics and Golden State are in this championship?
I know it's going to be a 3-point fest.
those graphics where they show the little spots where they shoot from. One's green, one's red. If they make it, can you
Right.
imagine what that's going to look like around the
Whole
point?
bunch of green. Yeah.
Oh,
Although I will say, teams with size have given Golden State trouble, and Boston does have size. So, even if they come back in this next game against Miami and don't shoot the three as well as they did in this past game, I think they'll still beat them.
you think the Celtics will beat Golden State?
No, we'll beat Miami.
Miami, okay.
Yes. Miami might have one win left in them.
Yeah. I'm not, I'm just looking sort of dispassionately trying to enjoy the basketball of it, between the two. But and then I see these blowouts, you know what I mean? It's like I'm waiting to see, because I always say the last 4 minutes of a game are usually like the best part, because everybody gets focused, coming. When you're down 30, the people that are getting focused are the guys that are coming off the bench.
Right.
15, 14, 13, 12, or whatever. They're all focused, trying to get on the scoreboard. So, all right. Who's playing tonight?
I believe Miami's playing tonight. Boston, Miami should be tonight.
And they're back in Boston.
Back in Boston.
For game 3.
Yeah. Miami's going to be hard pressed to win that game. They really are. I'm not going to say they can't. You're always one hot night of Tyler Hero away from getting beat, but he seems to be a little, I don't know. He didn't put up that many shots in game 2. Guy like him's got to put up shots. That's the only way he can't. If he scores 12, 16, that's not enough for them to win. Besides that, Jimmy's got to score 30 every night.
Also, that the fact that Boston played as well as they did without Horford and Smart in the first game, and then Horford and Smart come back, and it's like, ew, Jimmy.
Yeah.
Smart is so savvy. He's such a baller. He's all over the place, hands everywhere, will shoot the ball, making some really nice passes. He made one. I mean, the ball barely got to him. He just kind of needed with that thing around there.
Good passes and tough defense.
Yeah. So
he won't shoot the 3 like that every night.
No, not every night.
He got hot.
But just a savvy, ball guy out there on the floor,
Right.
Defense and offense. All right.